Good afternoon and welcome to Top Up News on Orient Television, Channel 59, and on Star Times, Channel 113. I'm Rejoice Chinedopara. Journalists and media workers in the state are called upon to embrace this year's World Communications Day to enrich themselves positively in their reportage. The Director of Communication, Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri, Reverend Father Ray Zerogu, stated this during a courtesy visit to the IBC Director General, Mr. Ralph Afako. Reverend Zerogu said that the World Communication Day was an annual event which is recognized internationally, adding that the Pope uses the medium to address journalists and media workers all over the world, give message of hope, love, encouragement, and to support them. He noted that this year's event promised to be educative, entertaining, and enlightening with the theme, "We are members of one another," from network communities to human communities, and urged journalists to celebrate the event on 2nd June 2019. Zerogu described journalists as the fourth tier of government charged with the responsibility of informing the society, a right, and appealed for the partnership of Imo Broadcasting Corporation in making the celebration worthwhile. The IBC Director General, Mr. Ralph Afako, expressed appreciation to identifying with the corporation, adding that IBC has always been a critical stakeholder on issues of the day. He noted that Imo Broadcasting Corporation was the premier voice of the government and public, with seasoned professionals and world-class gadgets, adding that its signals are now received globally through online streaming, both audio and video, and assured them that the corporation would contribute towards making the event memorable. All is now set for the ground opening of our super mega filling station in the state, Empire Energy, located at Naze by the Governor Willie Okorocha. Chidamadi has more on that.
100-pump filling station built by Empire Energy Limited is the largest singular private investment in the world, which is providing employment for over 700 workers. The idea, which was largely inspired by the Rescue Mission Administration of the Governor Willie Okorocha, was to fast-track rapid development of the state as well as expand economic opportunities. A statement by the management of Empire Energy Limited says the super mega filling station Naze has 100 pumps for PMS, AGO and DPK and cooking gas station with state-of-the-art facilities and offers full car services, door-to-door diesel delivery, tires of all sizes, heavy-duty vulcanizing, lubricants, industrial foundries, car services workshop with car checker and diagnosing services. It also offers injector and rotor for heavy-duty trucks. And what's more, it has an exceptional wine supermarket. The statement further disclosed that the traditional ruler of Naze Autonomous Community, Eze Francis Ogbonna Ugoji, will be the royal father of the day at the commissioning ceremony of the super mega filling station, which is scheduled to hold on Saturday this week by 4 in the evening. Imo people and the entire public are therefore invited to witness the great event. Chidi Amade, Orient Television News.
Following the recent destruction of property worth millions of naira by heavy rain in parts of the country, callers on Orient FM program Matters Horizon have urged people to desist from building houses close to river banks in order to safeguard lives and property. The callers stated. The callers noted that people should be more safety conscious by switching off electrical appliances in their homes whenever it is raining. They urged people to cut down overgrown trees that are close to their houses and ensure adequate clearing up of drainages. The presidency yesterday issued a directive for the immediate clearing up of Apapa gridlock and the restoration of law and order to Apapa and its environs within 2 weeks. The directive, according to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to Media and Publicity, Laolo Akonde, mandates the immediate removal of all trucks from the bridges and roads within Apapa and all adjoining streets leading into the Apapa axis. To facilitate this important assignment, he said that operators of trucks and tankers have also been directed to vacate the port access routes within the next 42 hours. He said that the directive followed an emergency meeting convened by President Muhammad Buhari and chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on the 25th of April 2019. He said the meeting preferred lasting solutions to the gridlock around the Lagos ports as the traffic congestion has continued to restrict operations and livelihood in the area. At the meeting, he said that we are key heads and representatives of relevant ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs of government, including the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral B.E.E. Ibe Enwo, Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Ministry of Transport, Dr. Salam Taiwo Olufemi, and Executive Director, Marine and Operations, Nigeria Ports Authority, MPA, Dr. Sokenta Davids, among others. Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has withdrawn 2 certificates of return issued to Mr. Haruna Aliyu, popularly known as Chakis, and one Mr. Ibrahim Ismail, respectively, following the court orders. Mr. Haruna Aliyu and Mr. Ibrahim Ismail are members of Kaduna House of Assembly representing Kaduna North 2, Kawu, and Kaduna South 2, Tundu Wada constituency, respectively, since 2015, on the platform of All Progressives Congress APC. INEC, while upholding the court orders to withdraw the certificate of the due and other 23 persons, disclosed that 20 of the 25 certificates of return were withdrawn from All Progressives Congress APC members to other APC members, while 2 from People's Democratic Party PDP members were withdrawn and issued to other PDP members. Mr. Haruna Aliyu and Mr. Ibrahim Ismail, whose certificates were withdrawn, contested in the primaries, where Mr. Yusuf Salihu scored 104 votes and Mr. Nasiru Usman had 49 votes at the said elections held on October 7, 2018. Meanwhile, APC had submitted the names of the winners of the primaries, but later substituted with the names of Mr. Haruna Aliyu and Mr. Ibrahim Ismail illegally, who had scored 24 and 35 votes respectively, to INEC as the party's candidates. However, the development led to a legal framework to reclaim the stolen mandate at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is set to sue an aide to President Muhammad Buhari on social media, Loretta Onoche, for over 2 billion naira, as she has failed to apologize and pay him the sum of 500 million naira after allegedly defaming his character. Atiku's lawyer, Chief Mike Ozokeme, revealed this to journalists during an interview. Ozokeme said the 48 hours given to Onoche to settle the matter out of court had elapsed. He further stated that instead of paying the 500 million naira and writing an apology as demanded by Atiku, the president's aide went ahead to insult the former vice president again on social media. The senior advocate said, "Of course, we are going to court because she has even aggravated the issue." She posted another comment online abusing Atiku, saying that he was talking nonsense. She seems not to understand the gravity of what she has done. She has aggravated the matter. We should meet in court and we practice our constitutional democracy, and we are a society governed by laws. We're preparing to go to court in my chambers. We don't threaten people for the fun of it. Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has directed for local administrators in the state to produce killers of 15 Fulani herdsmen within 7 days. Governor Bello issued the ultimatum to the local government chiefs during a stakeholders meeting on security held in Lokoja on Tuesday. He said failure to produce the perpetrators would lead to the sack of the administrators, who he also accused of ineptitude and dereliction of duty. Those affected are the administrators of Yaba West's local government, where 11 of the Fulanis were killed between May 18 and May 20. Omala Government Council, where the remaining 4 Fulanis were killed. The governor said that his administration would not condone killings of any citizen in the state under whatever guise. He directed the administrators to work with their traditional rulers to unveil the perpetrators. And on the foreign scene, prosecutors in Italy have released from house arrest a 19-year-old who killed her violent father at their home north of Rome. Deborah acted in self-defense in an episode of domestic abuse. The local prosecutor initially accused of manslaughter. She now faces the lesser charge of culpable excess of legitimate self-defense, but that may also be dropped. The prosecutor said she had begged her father to stop the abuse. It is possible in the next fortnight that the investigating judge may be asked to close the case because the young woman, according to what we currently know, acted in self-defense, said Tivoli prosecutor Francisco Mendito. The case has raised questions about domestic abuse in Italy, including the issue of when self-defense can legitimately be used. UK-based chip designer ARM has told staff it must suspend business with Huawei, according to internal documents obtained from the BBC. ARM instructed employees to halt all active contract support entitlements and any pending engagements with Huawei and its subsidiaries to comply with a recent U.S. trade clampdown. ARM's designs form the basis of most mobile device processors worldwide. In our company memo, it said its designs contained U.S. origin technology. As a consequence, it believes it is affected by the President Trump administration's ban. One analyst described the move, if it became long-term, as an insurmountable blow to Huawei's business. Some of the world's biggest footwear firms are urging President Donald Trump to end the U.S. trade war with China, warning of a catastrophic effect on consumers. A letter signed by 173 companies, including Nike and Adidas, says the president's decision to raise import tariffs will affect the working class. They also warn that higher levies threaten the future of some businesses. President Trump says that the trade deficit with China hurts the U.S. economy. The U.S. president increased levies of Chinese imports into the U.S. from 10% to 25% more than a week ago. Washington and Beijing failed to reach a deal on trade. China retaliated by announcing plans to raise levies on $60 billion of U.S. imports from June 1. The footwear companies that signed the letter, including Clarks, Dr. Martens, and Converse, say that while the average U.S. tariff on footwear is 11.3%, in some cases it can reach as high as 67.5%. And on sports, the FIFA Under-20 World Cup kicks off today in Poland. Host Poland will battle Cameroon in the opening match, just as Japan faces Ecuador. And all the matches also slated for today. Tahiti will slug it out with Senegal, while Mexico engages Italy. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria will play their Group D opening match on Friday against Qatar, just as Ukraine versus USA. Same day, the Honduras squares up against New Zealand, while Uruguay battles New Zealand. Meanwhile, Egypt has announced its 25-man provincial squad ahead of the 2019 African Nations Cup Championship, which will host next month. The list comprises 4 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 9 midfielders, and 3 attackers. The team will battle Zimbabwe in the opening match on June 21st. In athletics, Nigeria's athletic star Blessing Okabere is now the first Nigerian athletic to qualify for the 100 meters and 200 meters event at the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan, and the World Athletics Championship, which will hold in Doha in September this year. She performed the feat after placing third in the women's 200 meters race on Tuesday at the IAAF World Challenge to book a place in the 200 meters event in Tokyo 2020 Olympic. She also scored her ticket as she finished second in the women's 100 meters event at the IAAF Diamond League held in Shanghai last weekend. 3 other Nigerian athletes that have qualified for the 100 meters Tokyo 2020 Olympic are Toby Amusan in hurdles, Raymond Ekevo and Divine Odudoro. And that's the top of news on Orient Television. I'm Rejoice Chinedu. Good afternoon and keep staying with Orient. Bye.
My soul, my Savior God.